Hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. Today we are going to play Legends PvP live. But before we get started, let me finish up my setup over here. Also, we're going to check. This week we had some new content that was released. So it is possible that some people could still be busy trying to play the new content. So I guess we'll figure it out. If somehow we see that people don't show up, I will just play next time. And I hope you did not have too many issues with the new content. Personally, I was very fortunate, it seems. I did not have really big issues with the content. There's one time where the game froze, one time where I was stuck in the gate or something like that. Like I had a few accidents here and there. But the biggest glitch I could complain about was is Calrainer not looking at me through the dialogues. So, and the one time where there was, apparently there was some additional downtime, but at the time, like basically I recorded my video, I was probably editing my video at the time of the extra downtime, so I would not even have noticed if I did not see people on the servers, on the forums, or on the Discord talking about that. That'll do for now, I'll change the thumbnails sometime later. So just to be on the safe side, if you guys can hear me, say yes. So Ashner Gaming says first, MDK, hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. Absolutely. Big Dubs, I've been following your content for about a year and a half now, and I finally made it into a stream. Better late than never. If somehow you guys missed the stream for whatever reasons, don't worry, we're streaming, these days we're streaming roughly 3 times a week, so you should be able to catch the stream. And if you're looking for a specific stream, like for example today, the Legends PvP stream, we do that every week, so if you miss 1 week, don't worry, we'll be back the week afterwards. Joshua says, I'm in this universe, I'm a CR491, congrats. So MDK says yes, Big Dub say yes, we can hear you, Joshua says yes. DC Fanverse, I had Rainer disappeared, Carl disappeared, could not progress on. I had that one time I had Carl Rainer disappear. All I did was I zoned to another zone, and when I zoned back, Carl Rainer was there, and then I could talk to him. So if you ever reach a point like our friend DC Fanverse, where an NPC disappears, especially if it's an NPC that you have to talk to, just go to a different zone. And then come back to the Mogo, I forget what's it called, the bad Mogo map, and with a bit of luck, the NPC should be where it's supposed to. Big Dubs, I haven't played the game in about 6 months, but I do like keeping up with the game. That's alright, Big Dubs. You're not alone. There's quite a few people who often tell me that they've stopped playing the game for X amount of time, but they like to come back from time to time, or they like to keep up with what's going on in the game, even though they're not playing it. So that's what these videos are for. So I guess we're good to go. So let's go to, and often people ask Multiverse, how can we join? Very simple. Go to custom play, go select your legend character. Let's go with the classic one. Today we'll start with Ace Chemicals 4 versus 4, and the matchmaking will take care of the rest. So we don't make groups ahead of time, we just queue for the mission, and the matchmaking creates the groups. Because if I was to create a group, and if our friend DC Fanverse was to create a group, and let's say DC Fanverse wiped the floor with my team, sadly, if we play matches and matches and matches, team versus team, my team will be defeated over and over and over, and they will be very sad. So that way it gives us a chance to be sometimes on the winning side, sometimes on the losing side. It happens. So sometimes I could end up being at the same team as DC Fanverse. Sometimes I would end up fighting DC Fanverse. The matchmaking is the one who makes those decisions. Big Dubs, I started playing the game when I first saw your Batman Day video in 2024, and I've been on and off since. It's alright, you don't have to play all the time. Some people will be crazy people and play every day. Some people will play for a few weeks, take a month off, play a few weeks, take a month off. Or some people will play for 6 months, they'll be 6 months without playing, and then they'll come back. Not everyone does the same. Sadly, sometimes life doesn't want you to play DC Universe Online. It happens, and sometimes you just need to take a break. Now I understand that DC Universe Online is the best game in the world, but I understand it's not perfect. There are various issues. There are issues that I'm not happy with. But when that happens, just not too long ago, we had a bit of a gap between the end of the events and the latest event. So when that happens, when you're done with not so much a gap, but basically you have to play certain events for, let's say, 20 days. So once your 20 days are done, and if you don't have the next event just yet, that is a good time usually to take a break. So when you're pretty much in between events, you're finished with the previous event, the next event didn't start just yet, that is a great window of opportunity to, if you need to take a break from the game, spend 2 days, 3 days a week not playing. That could help you recharge your batteries if you're getting burnt out a little bit. One little trick that I have, very often people will ask, Multiverse, how come you've been playing the game for years and years? Aren't you tired of playing the game? And my secret is I have a lot of alternate characters. I remember there was a time around the time of Origin Crisis where I was getting a bit burnt out. And what I ended up doing is that I would create a new character, and then I would play the game with that new character. And playing the game with a new character, a new power, a new movement mode, does create a fresh perspective. Also, if you have a new mentor on top of that, you have access to a few missions that you don't normally have access to. So that does create a fresh perspective to be able to play the game from a fresh point of view. And at this point, I have a lot of alternate characters. So if one day I feel like I want to play and be the Batman, I can do that. If I want to play and be Superman, I can do that. If I want to play and be Jockstrap Man, I can do that if I want to. So Big Dub says I'm a 6 months kind of guy. Grab says if life gives me lemons, I take a shot of tequila and chase it with a lemons. I could see that. Oh, Big Dub says I was going to ask that exact question. Well, now you know the secret. So at this point, I have a lot of characters. So if I feel burnt out playing my multiverse for whatever reason, I can just switch to a different character and play the game from a different perspective. I also a different role. Like usually as multiverse, I play as a controller. I'm usually the controller of the group. But if I switch to another character, I can play as a tank. If I switch to another character, I can play as a healer. So it does create somewhat a different experience. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's still the same game. But it does create a bit of variety. Crazy Corpse, yo. What's... I have no idea what that is. Anyway. So hello, Crazy Corpse. Joshua says Josh Angel is my alter ego. Fair enough. And here we can start from DC Fanverse and Ghost are part of the Gods of Honor. We usually always have Gods of Honors who represent. Even last Wednesday when we barely had anyone, we still have some Gods of Honors with us. Grab says, I thought you are limited in the amount of characters you can have. How many characters do you have at the moment? Yes, you are limited. If you are a free-to-play player, you're limited to 2 characters. If you are a premium player, like as soon as you spend $5 on the game, you become a premium player. So you have 6 characters, if I recall correctly. It's been a long time since I've been a premium player, so I hope you'll forgive me if I'm mistaken. And if you are a subscriber, then you get, I believe it's 16 or 18 characters. Again, it's been a long time. I think it's 16 because I think you get 10 more than premium. So yeah, it should be 16. And but the maximum for a long time, the maximum of characters you could have was 32. But they did add a few. Like we had a few events where we could create new characters, and with those events, they gave us 1 additional character slot. So I think I'm up to 37 on PlayStation. And I have like about 18 also on PC, so I have a lot of characters. Crazy Core says, how you been? Oh, what's good? Okay. Sorry, I don't speak. I assume it's internet speaks. If it's something else, I don't know that. But we're good, Crazy Corpse. Thanks. Joshua says in this universe, level 30 and CR 4091. Congrats. Right now, people have been asking what's the max CR for this universe online. I have to admit, not sure. I'm at 487 right now, although I might be a bit more than that. There might be some gear I did not equip on my character. Oh, wrong. Oh, I'm actually 493. The reason for that is quite simple. I do have some gear that I'm not equipping because I'm waiting to get the elite gear, basically. Like, basically, I have a new pair of pants. But if I do replace my pants, I will lose my ultimate critical prowess mod. So whatever new gear I have right now, which is not the elite gear, I'm just keeping it here. And once I'm able to purchase the elite gear, then I'll replace my gear, and then I'll start using my my mods. Yeah, I know it's not the best idea in the world, but I don't want to have to keep on buying mods all the time, and so that's pretty much how I do it.
Run for your lives!
MDK, that's my Injustice Gods Among Us style next to you. I guess you must be excited about Injustice Gods 3, or Injustice 3, I just should say. We've known about Injustice 3 for a while. There's a few actors that pretty much spoiled it during certain interviews. When they were asked what they were working on, some people slipped and said they were working on their voices for Injustice 3. So we've known for some time that Injustice 3 has been in the works. Now you never know. Something bad could happen, and the project could get cancelled. Sadly, it happens.
Run! Run!
I've worked there for many studios, and there's many projects that never saw the light of day. It happens. Sometimes I would hang in the producer's office looking at a lot of projects that were either in development or that were being pitched, and holy crap, sometimes there were stacks of projects, and amongst all those projects, most never made it. There was one time when we even had a huge meeting they showed us about 15 projects that were in the works. And in the end, I think there's maybe 2 of those projects that ended up being made. And sweet irony, they were made by other studios in the end. But there's no indication, like at this point, there's pretty much every indication that Injustice 3 is in the works. The only thing that we don't know is when it will be released. So I'm guessing that Injustice fans must be doing the happy dance right now. Hello, Renzoro. Big Dubs, speaking of Xbox DCUO, I've run in your biggest fan a few times, and they have the same name as you, but since it's Xbox, I wasn't sure if it was or wasn't you. No, if you see me on Xbox, that is not me. I don't play on Xbox. I do not own an Xbox. It's that simple. I don't own an Xbox. I don't own a Switch. Although there's a YouTuber or two that almost convinced me to try a Switch too. But nah, I don't own a Switch. I don't own an Xbox. So yeah, if you do see the multiverse on those platforms, that is not me. Although to be fair, even on PlayStation, from what I understand, there are other multiverses. At some point, there was this guy Multiverse who was was having some costume contest in the Watchtower, but that was quite some time ago. I have no idea if he's still doing that. Hi says I used 525 absolute capsules and got no rare collections. Yeah, I'm not surprised. That's why I tell you guys that if you really want to have one specific item, in this case the collections, you have no choice. You have to buy it from the broker. Also, sadly, if I was a bit paranoid, I would say that for the past few time capsules, at least the past 2, 3, 4 time capsules, the rare collections is very rare because I haven't seen any. I've opened quite a lot of time capsules for some time, and I can't recall the last time I got one of the rare collections. So sadly, it they seems to have lowered the drop rate, and we see the result. So sadly, yeah, you opened 525. Our friend Shadow Lady opened quite a lot to try to get the Bat Swarm iconic ability, and in the end, she ended up getting it by accident. But she had to open a lot of she had to open a lot of time capsules before it happened. Grab says, "Will you be getting Injustice 3?" I'm not sure. It depends. I'll have to see it first. I did try Injustice 1 way back when. I played it for a bit. I think I played the campaign, or I played a tiny bit of PvP, but barely any. And then when we got Injustice 2, I tried the demo for Injustice 2. It was fine, but sadly, it's not the kind of game that I can play over and over and over. And it's not the kind of game I can play for hours and hours and hours. So I can play it for a bit. I can play it once in a while, but I cannot say that I'm a big fan of those games. I played some of those games like way back when we had games like Street Fighters, and then later on, Mortal Kombat is probably the one I did play Street Fighters a bit, but the one I really enjoyed was Mortal Kombat. But I'm talking about way back when on the arcade machine. So that take us back. So for Injustice 3, I don't know. I might give it a try. We'll see. And Big says they have their game tag as your name and everything. They're a huge fan of yours. Oh, I'm sure they are. I've seen that a few times. There's even someone at some point who had a name that kind of looked that it was multiverse, but had been misspelled. It was offering to give it to me, and nah, I was fine. I had the multiverse at that time. I wish I had the name multiverse without the. Maybe in the next name reclaim, but the multiverse is fine. For a long time, my multiverse name was actually misspelled. I had to put it all caps, and one of the I was a small L, I think. But now I have the multiverse, no misspelling. Joshua says, "Do you have a PS4?" Actually, I have a PS5. I still have my PS4, but my PS4 is pretty much used these days to be able to play. I'm using it to be able to watch Amazon on my other TV, Amazon Prime, and also have Disney Plus right now. Although I'm not sure if I should keep Disney Plus. We'll see. Oh, the evil chat jumped on me. Grab says I would join, but I'm kind of busy spamming this evacuation. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I assume people are pretty much busy playing the new DLC. So tell you what, guys, I'll just finish reading the chat, and I think we'll call it quits for today. I should probably be spamming the evacuation mission myself, but I'll probably go do something else. Hi says, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. We need a Quark system for the new Iconics. Sadly, we do have a Quark system. It is the Booster Gold vendor, but sadly, it will be in 3 years. The ability will be added to the Booster Gold vendor in about 3 years. It's not really doesn't really make any sense. It should be available at least right now for 5,000 quarks, so that people will have an option. But right now, the option is either you open time capsules or you play the broker and purchase. Last I checked, it was about at some point it went down to about 290 million or something like that. But then the price went back to 500 million. And last I checked, it was about 500 million. But I didn't check. I didn't check today. Not sure why Baby Bad Girl says I'm lazy, but okay. So yeah, we do have a system. Sadly, it's the Booster Gold vendor, but that'll be in 3 years. Lucifer, well, there is a multiverse, so it makes sense that there are other versions of multi played by other people. Think of it like various versions of the same Batman played by different actors. So, remaining variants version of a multiverse, yeah, that makes sense. Hi, I have over 10,000 quarks. The problem is that even if you have the quarks now, you're still gonna have to wait 3 years. If at least you could purchase it now for using the quarks, but sadly, nope. You have to wait 3 years. Again, they're pretty much making it so that they're working really hard to quote unquote encourage you to open time capsules. Big says the most capsules I've opened back to back was 50 and only one of the 7 items I wanted. I'm happy that's not just my luck, but the game just having atrocious rare and up percentage. DC Fan says I will get Injustice 3 no matter what. I love them. Fair enough. Like I'm more of an RPG guy than a fighting game guy. So I'm really more into RPG, which is why I love DCO. Basically, I love the RPG element of DCO. But DCO is the one game that I played where I really was grabbed by the PvP aspect of the game, and it did serve me. Basically, I've learned to play PvP with DCO, and then when I played PvP with when I played PvP in other games like Destiny, uh, my PvP experience in DCO did help me quite a lot with those games. Despite being completely different games, like obviously Destiny is a shooter looter game, but even then, learning the map, knowing where to position yourself in the map and stuff like that, a lot of that I learned from DCO. Grab says after opening 20, 25, or 35 capsules, we should be able to pick what we want. It's ludicrous. Yeah, there should be a cap, and then once you reach that cap, you can choose the item you want. Like once you spend $100 opening, let's say, time capsules, there's no reason not to be able to choose the reward you want. Sadly, that's not how it works. They don't want you to open a 100 time capsule. They want you to open the 500 time capsules, 1,000 time, as many time capsules as possible. And that is how the system is rigged, sadly. Which is why I often tell you guys, don't open time capsules. Like open 25 maybe to get the reward that comes with the time capsules. But if you're looking for one specific item, just buy it from the broker. DC Fanverse says the Logo Batman game coming soon is so much fun. It's like playing the Batman Arkham series. Yeah, I have to admit, I did not really play the Lego games. I thought it was a cute idea. I thought it was I understand why some people would find it fun, but I have to admit, when I saw the trailer for the latest Lego Batman game, I have to admit I liked it a lot. So I am tempted to give it a try. We'll see. And DC Fanverse, they need to add a PD system on the time capsule. If after opening X amount of the PD system is the booster gold vendor. That is what they came up with. We've been asking, like what we were mentioning, we've been asking for that for a long time. But what they ended up giving us when we were asking for that, was the booster gold vendor. So that was the answer. People were asking for a PD system way back when. People were saying, listen, once we open X amount of time capsule, we should be able to get the rare item we want. And the answer to that was to give us the booster gold vendor. So yes, if you open time capsule, if you gather your quarks, you should be able to get the rare item you want, but it will cost you 5,000 time capsule, and you will have to wait 3 years. It's sad, but that's how it is. Oh, Joshua says I have the Bottle City sorter, the best sorter in the game. If you rank it up, you'll never use another sorter ever again. Although some people would use sometimes, there's some sorters that could stack with the Bottle CD, so sometimes, like sometimes people would use the Compound Omega on top of that. Pugging, what's your least favorite mission in the new DLC? I can't really select one mission, although if I was to take a guess, I would say the raid. I suspect, like we did play the raid last Friday, everything was fine. But what I do suspect is once we do play the raid with random players, with the whole thing about the runes and you have to get the exact rune and put it in the exact spot, and uh, I think that's going to be a nightmare with random players. But maybe not. We'll see. There's that, and there's also the flashback raid. They seem to have really cranked up the difficulty for the flashback raid. So that was a bit frustrating, I have to admit. Grab says, I hate going back and buying sodas like the Bottle City sodas. I like the Bottle City sodas a lot. I like it a lot too. So I guess we're done for today, guys. So sadly, as expected, people are busy playing the new DLC, which is fine. We'll try again on Wednesday. Wednesday we'll log in. We'll see if people are still farming for the new DLC. We'll know soon enough. So guys, have a good rest of the weekend, and we'll see you guys possibly Wednesday. If not, there's always a live at 5 on Friday. For live at 5, obviously we will play the new content a bit like we did the past Friday with Evil Friday. There probably won't be a theme, or if there's a theme, we'll find out Tuesday. I have no idea if there's going to be a bonus week this week. So if we do have a bonus week, if we do have anything special on Tuesday, that'll probably be the theme for Live at 5. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So have a good rest of the weekend, guys, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, guys.